Hey everyone, and welcome to our latest explainer. Today, we are diving deep into a car that's trying to carve out its own space in a seriously crowded field, the Hyundai Bayon. If you're in the UK and this one's on your shortlist, well, this is for you. Let's get right into it.
You've got to ask the question, right? Do we really need another small SUV? I mean, this market is absolutely jam-packed with fantastic cars. So the real question for us today is, where on earth does the Hyundai Bayon fit in? And, more importantly, does it actually do enough to stand out from the crowd?
So, a little context first. The Bayon is a pretty new face on the block. It launched back in 2021, and it was designed specifically with us Europeans in mind. And it's already had a pretty major facelift for 2024, which is where that super sharp, full-width LED light bar at the front comes from. Keeps it looking fresh.
Okay, so here's how we're going to tackle this. We've got 5 sections. We'll start by looking at its rivals, then we'll pop the hood. After that, we'll jump inside, talk about what it's actually like to own one, and then we'll wrap it all up with our final verdict. Simple as that.
Right, let's kick off with Section 1. So what is the Bayon? Well, the easiest way to think of it is as a Hyundai i20 Super Mini that's, been to the gym. It's a crossover built on that same, really solid platform, and it's designed from the word go for European tastes and our kind of roads.
And here is the mountain it has to climb. This list, these are the heavy hitters of the small SUV world. You've got the Ford Puma, which is brilliant to drive, the super stylish Nissan Juke, the practical VW T-Cross. The list goes on. To even get noticed here, the Bayon needs a secret weapon.
So what is Hyundai's angle of attack? It's not trying to be the fastest, and it's not trying to be the poshest. Instead, its whole game plan is about offering an unbeatable package. It's got those unique looks, a frankly ridiculous amount of space, tons of tech as standard, and then the knockout punch, that 5-year unlimited mileage warranty.
All right, let's get a bit geeky for Section 2. We're going under the hood to see what's powering this thing. We'll look at the engine, the gearbox choices, and the suspension setup that dictates how it actually feels on the road.
Now, Hyundai keeps it really simple here in the UK. You get one engine, a 1.0-liter turbo petrol, but with 2 different power levels. The main difference to know is that the more powerful 120 PS version gets a 48-volt mild hybrid system. Now, it's not going to make it feel like a sports car, look at those 0 to 62 times, but its job is to give the engine a little boost to help save fuel, especially with its clever coasting feature. And you get 2 choices when it comes to the gearbox. There's a manual, but it's a clever one. It's called an intelligent manual, and it can automatically disengage the clutch when you're coasting to save a bit of fuel. For most people, though, that 7-speed dual-clutch automatic is going to be the one to go for. It makes crawling through city traffic an absolute doddle.
Now this is really interesting. A classic case of an engineering compromise. At the front, it's a totally standard McPherson strut suspension. But at the back, they've used a simpler, more compact torsion beam. So why'd they do that? Well, one reason, it's the secret to unlocking a massive boot. The downside? On a typical bumpy British road, it can make the ride feel a bit, firm. A little bit jiggly, especially if you get one with the bigger 17-inch wheels.
Okay, let's head inside for Section 3, because this, for me, is where the Bayon really starts to play its ace. We're going to talk less about how it drives and more about its 2 biggest strengths, space and technology. And here it is, the big one, 411 liters of boot space. Let that sink in for a second. That is more than a Ford Puma, more than a Nissan Juke. It's huge for a car of this size. It is a masterclass in packaging, and honestly, it's one of the single biggest reasons you choose a Bayon over its rivals. One thing Hyundai always nails is value for money, and the Bayon is packed with kit. Even the entry-level SE Connect model is hardly basic. You get digital dials and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto from the get-go. Move up to Premium and you get the real comfort stuff like bigger screens and heated seats. And then Ultimate just throws the whole kitchen sink at it with a brilliant Bose stereo and a ton more safety tech. But, and this is a pretty big but, there is a trade-off for all that space and tech. And it's the one thing almost every reviewer points out. The interior is just a sea of hard, scratchy plastics. It feels like it's built to last, for sure. But when you compare it to the lovely, soft-touch cabin of a Peugeot 2008, yeah, it just feels a bit cheap.
Moving on to section 4. Okay, so we know what it's like in the showroom, but what's it like to actually live with? This is where we talk about the stuff that really matters long-term. Running costs, reliability, and what to look for if you're buying used.
On paper, the numbers all look very sensible. The official fuel economy is over 53 mpg, which is right up there with the best in class. And the low CO2 figures mean your yearly road tax isn't going to break the bank. Of course, you know the drill. Your real-world miles per gallon will depend entirely on how heavy your right foot is.
Now listen up, because this is a massive deal, especially on the used market. That incredible 5-year warranty, it's fully transferable. So let's say you buy a 3-year-old Bayon. You still get 2 years of full manufacturer warranty. That is a level of peace of mind that pretty much no rival can get close to. It's a huge selling point.
So if you are looking for a used one, here's your homework. Number 1, make sure it has a full dealer service history. No stamps, no warranty. Simple as that. Take the automatic for a good test drive and make sure it's smooth at really low speeds. And of course, press every single button, check every screen, and make sure there are absolutely no warning lights on the dash. Okay, it's time to bring everything together. In our final section, we've looked at what it's competing against, what's under the hood, what it's like inside, and what it costs to run. It's time for the final reckoning. So here's the summary. The argument for the Bayon is all about logic. It's about that class-leading space, the generous tech, the peace of mind from that warranty, and the fact that it's just so easy to drive. The reasons you might pause? Well, those hard plastics, that firm ride we talked about, and the fact that it's safe and predictable to drive, but not exactly exciting. It's a classic head versus heart decision.
And that really leaves us with one final question for you to answer. What do you value most in a car? If your priority list is topped by practicality, by value, and by long-term peace of mind, then the Bayon makes an incredibly strong case for itself. If, however, you want a premium cabin and a car that puts a smile on your face on a twisty road, you might want to look elsewhere. Your answer to that question tells you everything you need to know.